3. Let's jump into this video and hopefully get you guys a little help on your homework, okay? Alright, let's take a look at the class exercise at the top of the page. And let me get my book open here real quick. Give me 1 second here. And here we go. Okay, number 1, find the area of a circle whose radius is 7 centimeters. So we're going to find the area of a circle whose radius is 7. And we're going to use this for pi. So area of a circle is pi r squared, right? And that's what we're doing, finding the area of a circle. So area equals, for pi, we're going to use 22 over 7. My radius is 7, so 7 squared. And of course, hopefully we know by now, we square this number first before we multiply these two numbers together. So 7 times 7 is 49. And then of course we put 49 over 1 and we multiply. And our answer is 7 goes into 49 7 times. 22 times 7 is 154. 1 times 1 is 1. So my answer is 154 centimeters squared. Okay? Alright, number 2. Let's find the area of a circle with a diameter of 20. So we're going to find area circle with this diameter. So here we go. Now for pi, we're going to put 3.14, it tells us. And now remember, guys, diameters are always twice as big as your radius. So if your diameter is 20 and your radius would be 10, so there we go. Square the 10 first, and hopefully we all know that 10 times 10 is 100. All right, and then 3.14 times 100 is 314, and it does not give us. Oh, my bad. Sorry. It does tell us it's kilometers, so the answer is going to be kilometers squared. There we go. All right, moving on to number 3. A circle. Let's clear all this off here real quick. And number 3. A circle has a radius of 8. What is the area? Okay, so we're going to find the area of a circle, and the radius is 8. So for pi, they want us to use 3.14. My radius is 8. There we go. So area equals 3.14 times 64. 8 times 8 is 64. And 3.14 times 64 would give me 56, 12, 84, 18, 2, 9, 0, 0, 200.96, and they rounded to the nearest whole number. So this 9 right here tells you to make this 0 1. So 201, everything else becomes zeros, and 201.00 is the same thing as 201, and they do not give us the unit of measurement, so we're just going to say units squared. Now, if you round it somewhere else, that's fine. That doesn't matter. You could have used this for your answer, and that's fine. Okay? Alright, moving on to number 4. Real quick here. Alright, number 4 says a circle has a diameter of 10. 1 is the area. Alright, so here we go. They tell us to use 22 over 7 for pi. So for pi, I'm going to put 22 over 7. Now remember, diameter is always twice as big as the radius. So if you have a diameter of 10, then your radius is going to be 5. So we'll put 5 squared. Alright, and here we go. Area equals 22 over 7 times 5 times 5 is 25. Nothing cancels. 22 times 25 would be 550. And 7 times 1 is 7. And let's make that a mixed number, okay? It'd be better since we're finding area. So 7 goes to 550. Let's see. 7 times 49, subtract. 7 goes into 60 8 times. 8 times 7, 56. Remainder of 4. So your 4 goes over your 7. So your answer is 78 and 4/7 units squared. Okay, guys, so we're just using this formula here over and over to help us find the area of circles. Alright? Okay. Oh, sorry for yawning. Here we go. Oh, moving on. Okay, let's take a look at number 5. Now, number 5 is not dealing with area. Number 5 is dealing with circumference, okay? So at number 5, they tell you the circumference of a circle is 12 pi. So we're going to find the radius. Now, guys, look. There are 2 formulas I've given you for circumference. One is 2 pi r, and the other one is pi d, okay? Guys, I do not care which one you use, okay? But what I do want you to use is common sense, okay? Look, for part A, they want us to find the what? The radius. So why would I use this formula here? Nowhere in this formula do you see the letter what? R. So that doesn't make any sense, guys. Now, yes, you could use this formula here, and when you're done, you'll know what the diameter is, and then you could cut that in half, and you'll know what the radius is. Yes, you could do that, but why? This formula here has circumference, and it has what? Radius, and that's what we're looking for. They give us the circumference, and we're trying to find the radius. Now, Mr. Earhart, what about part B over here? We're going to find the area. Well, let's worry about that later, okay? Alright, so first of all, part A, find the radius. So, here we go. The circumference is, sorry for yawning, 12 pi. So, our circumference is, I'm going to put 12 pi, alright? And then, now, because they have pi right here, I am going to leave my pi, just pi, and I'm trying to find my radius. Now, guys, look, if I had 12 equals 6x, how would I find x? Would I not divide both sides by 6 to get rid of the 6 here? Yes, I would. And why would I do that? Because the 6 and the x are multiplying, and the opposite of multiply is divide. Same thing here. Look, I want to get rid of this 2 pi. What is it doing to the r? It's multiplying, right? Why do I want to get rid of the 2 pi? Because I'm trying to find the radius. I'm trying to solve for r. Okay, so divide both sides by 2 pi. Here they cancel, leaving you with r. Here your pi's cancel. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we did it. There, we found the radius. Now find the area. Well, we know how to do that. And we find the area of a circle. Pi r squared. Now, on a test, please don't get worried. Please don't freak out. They should have told you. They should have told you right here to leave pi. And they didn't. On the test, I will. Okay, so I want you to leave pi, just pi. So pi is pi, and my radius is 6. Square your radius, and you have pi times 36. And of course, 36 times pi is 36 pi. There we go. Okay? Alright, number 6. They give us the circumference, right? And they want us to find the radius again. So yes, you could use this formula here, but there's no need to. This formula has radius in it. So circumference is 2 pi. So 2 pi. Bring down your 2. Bring down your pi. And we're trying to find the radius. So I want to get rid of this here. So let's divide both sides by 2 pi. 2 pi. Here they cancel, leaving you with r. Now, everything cancels out, leaving you with 1 over 1, which is the same thing as 1. Now, some of you might have thought it was 0, but hold on. If you have 5 over 5, that does not equal 0, right? 5 over 5 equals 1. Anything over itself will always equal 1. So 2 pi over 2 pi is 1. So there, we found the radius. Now let's find the area. So area equals, for pi, we're going to leave it pi. For radius, we're going to put 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So I have pi times 1. And of course, 1 times pi is just pi. Now you're welcome to put pi for your answer, or you're welcome to put 1 pi. Either one of those answers would be acceptable. Okay? Alright, moving on. Alright, for 1 and 3 in the directions say to find the area, and they want us to use 22 over 7 for pi. Okay? So, here we go. So area equals, for pi they want us to use 22 over 7. My radius is 21. This is right here. So let's square the 21, and we get 441. Over 1. So 21 squared is 441. 7 goes to 7 once. 7 goes to this 63 times. And now 22 times 63 would be 1,386. 1 times 1 is 1. So the area is 1,386 kilometers squared. Okay, guys? Same formula, just over and over and over. Alright? Okay, number 3, we're going to find the area of a circle that has a diameter of 1.4. Okay? So here we go. For pi, they've already told us to use 22 over 7. And now for my radius, well, my diameter is 1.4. So remember, we have to take the diameter and divide it by 2, and we would get 0.7. Okay? Remember, the diameter is always twice as big as the radius. Okay? So for my radius, I'm going to put 0.7 squared. So now I have 22 over 7 times 0.7 times 0.7 times 7 is 49. Go over 1 to 2 decimal places. So I get 0.49 over 1. And that's okay. 7 goes into 7 once. 7 goes into 0.49, 0.07 times. And now 22 times 0.07. This 2 decimal places here, so let's go over 2 decimal places and we get 1.54 over 1, which is 1.54 centimeters squared. Alright, okay, now 5, 7, and 9, they tell us to find the area of the circles, but now we're going to use 3.14 for our pi. Alright, so here we go. This will be really interesting, okay? Now, let's find the area of a circle. And they give us the radius. Okay, so if they give us the radius for pi, I'm going to use 3.14, and my radius is 4. So we square the 4, and I have 3.14 times 16. So 3.14 times 16, 84, 18, 314, and we get 50.24 meters. So, meters squared. There we go. Okay, guys, not difficult. Okay, now number 7, they want us to find the area of a circle again. Okay, but now they're giving us the diameter. Okay, so no problem. Here we go. Area equals for pi. They've told us to use 3.14. Well, I don't know what my radius is, but I do know my diameter. My diameter is 10. So if my diameter is 10, then my radius has to be what? 5. So right here, I'm going to put 5, and here we go. 3.14 times 25. Go over 2 decimal places, and 78.50 is the same thing as just 78.5. We're dealing with centimeters, so centimeters squared. Not difficult. Now, the next one's going to be a little interesting, guys, okay? And hopefully you know what to do, alright? Now, for number 9, they want us to find the area of a circle. That's what the directions say. So here we go. So for pi, we put 3.14. And for the radius, we put, well, that's the problem. We don't know what the radius is. All they've given us is the circumference. So, how can I take the circumference and find the radius? Well, guys, think about it. Circumference equals pi d. But I'm not going to use that formula because this formula has diameter in it. So I'm going to use this formula, because this formula has radius in it. And what am I trying to find? The radius. Guys, how can I find the area if I don't know the what? The radius. I have to find the radius, right? So, if I know the circumference, which I do, then I can find the radius. So my circumference is 90, or not yet, 94.2 equals 2 times 3.14 times r. Let's multiply these two together, and I get 6.28. Okay? Multiply these two together, and now simply divide both sides by 6.28, and let's see what we get. 94.2 divided by 6.28. Take this decimal here, move it 2 places. Take this decimal here, move it 2 places. So we have to add a 0, and let's see what we get. 628 goes into 942 one time, and I'm left with 314. Alright, now let's try 5 of 44. Yep, there we go. Exactly 15. So that's not your answer, guys. That's your radius. So now I know the radius. So pick up your radius, put it in right here, and we're ready to go. Okay? So first, I'm going to square my 15. So 15 times 15, 75, 15, 225. And now I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 225. And go over 2 decimal places, and that's your answer. Now, yes, they rounded to a different place, but that's fine. I don't care really which answer you use. That's totally up to you. Okay? But there's your answer. Not too bad. All right. Let's move on to number 11. Okay? They give us the area, and they want us to find the radius. No problem there, guys. We've done that. Pi r squared. So the area is 314. Pi is 3.14. Oh, by the way, in the directions in the book, they tell us to use 3.14 for pi. Okay? And then my radius is radius squared. No problem, guys. We can do this. So, what is the 3.14 doing to the radius? It's multiplying, right? This times this. So the opposite of multiply is divide. And you will get 100. 314 divided by 3.14. Move the decimal 2 places and it's gone. Move the decimal here 2 places. 314 goes to 314 once. 314 goes to 0 times. And 314 Now, guys, think about it. The radius is squared. So what would I have to put in for r? So when I square it, I get 100. Wouldn't it be 10? If I put a 10 in for my radius and squared it, would I not get 100? Sure I would. Sure. So my radius equals 10. And of course, if you look at your area is centimeters squared, which means your radius is centimeters. Alright? 10 centimeters. Let's try number 13. Okay, now, okay, so they want us to fill in the chart. Now they tell us in the directions they say to leave pi, pi. So actually, guys, that makes it a lot easier, okay? So let's take a look at number 13. On number 13 in your book has all of these as blanks, okay? So they give us the radius, right? There it is. They want us to find the what? The diameter. So the diameter would be 14 because the diameter is always twice as big as the radius. Now they want us to find the circumference. Guys, do you know the radius? Yes. Do you know the diameter? Yes. So I don't care which formula you use. Okay, I'm going to use this one because it's a little easier. So circumference equals pi times diameter, which is 14. And of course, pi times 14 is 14 pi. And there you go. There's your circumference. Okay? Now, if you use this formula over here, that's fine. You'll get the exact same answer. 2 times pi times your radius. And of course, when three numbers are multiplied together, you can change the order if you want to. So I'm going to put 2 times 7 times pi, which would give me 2 times 7 is 14 pi. Now I'm not going to put units squared because I'm not dealing with area, I'm dealing with circumference. Okay? Now, next, they want us to find the area. So, there we go. Leave pi, pi. Your radius is 7. 7 times 7 is 49. And 49 times pi is 49 pi. Units squared. Very simple. Alright, number 15. Now on number 15, they give us the circumference. Okay? So students, I don't care if you find the radius first or if you find the diameter first. I don't care. But you have to use a circumference formula. That hopefully makes sense because they give you circumference right here. That should make sense. Okay? So let's use this one here. So circumference equals pi times, oh, my bad guys, sorry about that. Circumference is 8 pi. So for circumference, I'm going to put 8 pi equals pi times diameter. And that's what I'm looking for, is diameter. These two are multiplying, so let's divide both sides by pi. These cancel, and I'm left with d equals 8. So there's your diameter, okay? Now, of course, if the diameter is 8, we know the radius is going to be 4, okay? So there we go. But if you want to use this formula, that's fine. Circumference is 8 pi, so I have 2 times pi times radius. They're all multiplying. I want to get rid of these two here, and they're multiplying times the radius. So I'm going to divide by 2 pi, divide by 2 pi, 2 cancels, pi cancels, leaving you with r. Pi's cancel. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and there you go. Your radius is 4, and if your radius is 4, how do you find the diameter? You multiply it by 2, and there's your diameter. Okay? Now, lastly, they want us to find the area, right? Okay, so here we go. Area equals, we're going to leave pi, radius is 4, so 4 squared. Next we have pi times 16, and of course pi times 16 is just 16 pi units squared. There we go. And then lastly, number 17. All right. So they give us the area, right? Area is this. So we use the area formula because that's all that we know. Area is 25 pi. Pi is just pi. Radius is what I'm looking for. So the pi is multiplying times the radius. So let's divide both sides by pi. These cancel, leaving you with radius squared. Over here, your pi's cancel, leaving you with 25. Now, guys, think about it. What would you have to put in for radius? What would your radius have to be so that when you square it, you get 25? Well, would it not be 5? Sure, because 5 times 5 is 25. So there, we found our radius. Our radius is 5. Now, if our radius is 5, then double that, and you'll get your diameter. Your diameter is 10. And now they want us to find the circumference. Now, guys, I don't care which formula you use. I'm going to use this one here. And I simply have pi times my diameter is 10. And of course, pi times 10 is 10 pi. And there's my answer. Okay? Alright, moving on. Now, this is interesting. If the radius of a circle is doubled, then what happens to the area? Now, you would think that if the radius is doubled, then the area is also multiplied by 2. Let's see if that's true, okay? Let's just make up a problem. Let's say your radius is 3, and then I double it, and your radius is 6. Let's see what happens to the area, okay? Let's find out. So area equals pi r squared. So guys, you could have used a 4 here and an 8 here. You could have used 100 here and 200 here. It doesn't matter as long as you double the radius. I'm choosing to use small numbers so that the problem is easier, okay? So I have a 3 here and a 6 here, okay? Now, so for my radius, for pi, I'm going to go ahead and use 3.14. Actually, let's just leave it pi. It'll be easier. So I'm going to leave it pi, and my radius is 3. Now watch what happens here, guys. 3 times 3 is 9. So I have pi times 9, which is 9 pi. Now, let's come over here, and let's find the area of a circle when the radius is 6. So the radius was 3. Now let's double to 6. So here we go. So I have pi times 6 squared. Of course, 6 squared is 36. And 36 times pi is 36 pi. So one area is 9 pi. The other area is 36 pi. Guys, it's been multiplied by 4. This area here is 4 times as big as this here. Mr. Earhart, how do you know that? Okay, let me show you. If I said to you, how much bigger is 20 compared to 4? You would take 20, you would divide it by what? 4, and you would say, oh, 20 is what? 5 times bigger than what? 4, right? We'll do the same thing here. Take your bigger number, 36 pi, divide it by 9 pi, and what happens? Your pi's do what? They cancel out, and 36 divided by 9 is what? 4. Guys, 36 pi is 4 times bigger than 9 pi. So it's interesting when you double the area of a circle. No, sorry. When you double the radius of a circle, the area is quadrupled or multiplied by 4. Okay? Alright, moving on. 21. Okay, now they want us to find the area of the shaded region. Okay? Now, this really isn't too bad, guys. Think about it. If I find the area of this entire huge circle, okay, like this, got it? Find the area of that whole big circle. Give me 1 second here, guys. Let me do that again, okay? Now, if I find the area of this whole big circle, okay, and then I subtract out this area here, and I subtract out this area here, I'm left with just the shaded area. So I have to find 3 areas. One big circle and then 2 small circles, and then subtract. Okay, so let's find the area of this big circle. Now, in order to find the area of this big circle, we have to know the radius, right? So think about it. If from here to here is 3, that means from here to here is also what? 3, which means from here to here is also what? 3. Now if from here to here is 3, and think about it, guys, from here to here is also 3, and from here to here is also 3. So from here to here is 3, and then 3 more, then 3 more, then 3 more. So the total distance all the way across the circle is 3, 6, and 9, 12. So your diameter of the big circle is 12. So then your radius has to be what? 6. From here to here, the radius is 6. Okay? So, my radius is 6. We can now find the area of the big circle. And by the way, if you look in your book, the directions set to leave the area in terms of pi. So, we're going to leave pi. My radius is 6, so 6 squared. So area equals pi times 36, which is the same thing as 36 pi. So there, I'm going to put BC, area of big circle is 36 pi. Got it. Now, let's find the area of the smaller circle here. The radius is 3, so I have pi in for pi. My radius is 3. 3 times 3 is 9, so I have pi times 9, so my area would be 9 pi. So, area of little circle is 9 pi. Okay? Now, think about it, guys. Remember what I showed you earlier, okay? If I'm going to find the area of the shaded region, I'm going to have to first find the area of the big circle, which I did, which is 36 pi. And then I'm going to have to subtract out one of those circles. So 36 pi minus 9 pi gives me 27 pi. By the way, you probably do not know how to add and subtract areas that are written in terms of pi. So let me show you how to do that right now. Okay, it's simply, if this is a pi term and this is a pi term, which they both are, then all you have to do is just bring down your pi and subtract the numbers here. Same thing with adding 2. If you were adding 2 pi plus 8 pi, it would simply be 10 pi. Okay? So, with that in mind, I took my big circle right here and I subtracted out one of the circles. Now, guys, we should understand the radius of this circle here is 3. The radius of this circle is 3, so their areas are going to be the same. So I subtracted out this, sorry for yawning, I subtracted out this circle here, and I got this. Now let's subtract out this circle here, and 27 minus 9 is 18, and there we go. That is my answer, 18 pi units squared. Okay? Now, it is 6:10 in the morning. I have to run and drive my son to work, so I'm gonna stop this video here, and I'm going to finish the assignment on part 2